Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa. Wassalatu wassalamu ala habibillahil mustafa wa ala alihi wa man sara ala nahjihi waqtafa. Alhamdulillah, bilhaq atakallam bil lughah al arabiyyah, lakin ja'ana ad-daif mutakallim bil lughah al injiliziyah wal almaniyah wal isbaniyah, fa labudda lana bi an natakallam bil lughah al-Injiliziyah ala al-aqal. In this night, سوف أحاول أن أتكلم باللغة الإنجليزية. Alhamdulillah, thanks for God. Allah is the Almighty. There is no God but Allah. Peace and salutation be upon to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has brought us from the darkness to the lightness. In this opportunity, it is such an honor for me to deliver my speech on behalf of the headmaster of Al Manar Islamic Boarding School. First of all, I would like to welcome to Miss Degmar Weber, Prof. Degmar Weber, and Prof. Saiful Akmal, and Prof. Nadira. Indeed, we are waiting for this moment, for this great agenda, and hopefully to the Prof. Degmar Weber to motivate us, to encourage us, to give us many things, especially how to speak and how to do based on our title tonight, the workforce. I never hear this sentence, Ustaz Saiful Akmal. Lakin bil Arabiyah, in Arabic, al-quwa al-amilah. When I'm googling the meaning of word workforce in Arabic, we could say workforce al-quwa al-amilah. Al-quwa al-amilah, I don't know how to explain in English, but in Arabic, kaifa nuhawil bikulli juhdina wa bikulli sa'yina bi an nakuna minal mutaqaddimin amalan wa fikratan wa kulla shay. That's all for me as the welcome speech, and after that we would like to go to the inspiring speech will deliver by Prof. Degmar Weber. That's all what I can say in this chain. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Teacher and head of further education, region Southeast Asia and Australia in Singapore. Teacher and intermediate school level coordinator, Grammar School, Germany, had history of the school under development in theory, ethics, school violations at the Grammar School of in Wales, Germany.
I didn't know what I have done all this.
She also mastered the basic knowledge of French and Spanish that made her a polyglot. So that, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, you need to pay your attention fully on her because obviously tonight is a golden occasion to all of us to learn the subject from the master itself. So, with a great pleasure and honor, let's welcome our tonight's motivator, our teacher, our new family member, Degmar Weber.
Now we stand up. We go down. Let us go down. Guten Abend, ich bin sehr froh, heute hier sein zu dürfen. Bedanke mich für die Einladung und vielen Dank, Nagira, dass du mir hier zur Seite stehst. Unfortunately, you didn't understand anything because this was German, and my first sentence was that I want to say thank you to all of you and to your school, to your headmaster for the invitation. And I thank Nagira that she is standing here at my side. First thing. So I'm happy to be here, and yeah, you have heard a little bit about my history. So now I am an experienced teacher, but the most important thing is I can't speak Indonesian language. Sorry. I can say selamat pagi, terima kasih, something like this, but I can't speak your language. Can you speak German? No. So we need to find a language where I can speak to you, and maybe, inshallah, you can understand what I am telling you. And inshallah, this is the most important thing. And for sure, because I am not from Australia, I am not from US, I am not from Great Britain, but I am from Germany, I took some pictures and some information, and I will start to introduce my country to you, if you like. Maybe you want to travel with me to my country. This is my country, Germany, a part of Europe, and I am living here. It's a big city called Hamburg, and I am living close to the city. We have a big harbor, and around about 82 million people living in Germany. Actually, this is not true, because now we have 2 million more. These are people from Ukraine. You know that we have a war at the moment close to our country, and some of the Ukrainian refugees are in our country. So at the moment we are 84. This is, I checked it, I Googled it. This is the amount of people in Indonesia. So you are much more than we are. This is our small country. Compare it with your country, I think Germany will fit at least, however you can make the math, many, many times in your country. We are very small. We have 16 provinces. You can see here the different colors, 16 of them. And our capital is called Berlin. Your capital is Jakarta, correct? Okay, good. This is Hamburg. my hometown. And yeah, it's beautiful. They have a big river, and you can see here our famous landmark, the Elfi, we call it. It's a big concert hall. Very, very nice and beautiful. But one of the popular spots in our country is this castle. It's called Neuschwanstein, and maybe some of you know this from the Disney movies. It's the logo of Walt Disney Movie Studios. It was inspired by this castle. It's in the mountains. We call them Alps. It was built from King Ludwig II, but this castle was never finished. You can make a tour, but it's unfinished. He never lived in his castle. This is our capital, and I only want to, maybe you can look here. This is the Brandenburger Tor. This is a big gate, and this was a place where our city was divided. We had a big wall between the eastern and western part of Berlin. These are our leaders. Maybe you know her. Angela Merkel. We have her as Chancellor, Prime Minister for 16 years. But now he is our leader. His name is Olaf Scholz, and he is now the leader of Germany. And we have beautiful beaches as well, especially in the northern part. You can see it here. We have the North Sea and we have the Baltic Sea. But our ocean is very cold. In summer, if you are lucky, 18 degrees. If you go here in your ocean, it's all the year around, maybe 25, 26, something like this. So your water is much warmer than our sea. And this is not New York, but this is Frankfurt, and this is a big city, and we have some special guests. Maybe you can stand up. University of Frankfurt. This was his city. So the capital of banks and trade and commerce. We have many old cities as well. One of the oldest buildings is here. It was built 170 years after Christ. So it's now nearly 2,000 years old. Very, very old buildings. We have a big cathedral in Cologne. They start to build this cathedral 12,048. They finished it 1889. So it took them a long time to build this cathedral. We have many rivers, and I think it's hard for you to understand. Can we maybe put the loudspeaker in this direction a little bit more? This loudspeaker, so that they can listen. You should try it. We have rivers, and we have many interesting and expensive cars. Maybe you know them. Mercedes, Porsche, BMW, Audi, and Volkswagen. Volkswagen is not so expensive, but for example, I am not driving a Mercedes. It's too expensive for me. Our food. Germans are very popular that they like sausages. And the sausage, the most favorite sausage, called currywurst. Currywurst with fries or with pommes, we say it, it's potato. And you find it at every corner. This is, we have more food. We can eat Indonesian food as well, but most of the time we eat fast food. So, what else do we have? We have mountains. We have agriculture. We have some areas where it's colorful. Yes, we have a forest. I want to tell you one thing. If you want to travel to another country, if you go to Europe, it's not necessary that you learn German, French, Spanish, because you will find in every country in Europe people who can speak English. If you learn English, you can travel around the world. You can go to Europe. For sure, there will be some people who can help you at the beginning because they can speak English. This is very, very important, and it's the most common language, I think. It's not so complicated. German, for example, is a very complicated language, but English, it's easier to learn. You can learn Chinese because so many people speak Chinese language. But at the moment, it seems that the Chinese people, they learn English because in computer, in science, in movies, everywhere you have English language. If you want to make your university education, for example, in Australia or in US, you need to speak English. Exactly. So I only can motivate you learn this language. Do you understand a little bit of the things I've told you? Here at the front, because you are the older grades. Okay, good. The younger ones, for you, it's more complicated. But maybe in 2 years, 3 years, you will understand everything. So please try to understand as much as possible. How do you learn English? How do you do it? Do you have English lesson? You do? Okay. And do you watch movies?
Yes, I watch movies.
Yeah? And English movies?
Yes, like Disney and the Marvel action.
Okay. I think you will watch movies as well?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do you watch the English movies with Indonesian subtitles?
Yes, I watch movies, the Disney.
Okay. I will give you one advice. If you watch movies, favorite movies, not only once, but maybe a couple of times because you like them so much. Who has seen Harry Potter? Okay. For example, if you see Harry Potter the first time, it's okay with Indonesian subtitles. But then, switch it and make it English, because then you can listen to Harry Potter's voice, you can see the movie, and you can read every word. It helps you to learn the language. Try it, it's very helpful. Okay, and Nagira, come to my side. You want to study maybe abroad? Can you tell us about it? Your plans? Try it. Yeah? Yeah.
For sure, I intend to continue my study, to master degree. I really want to go abroad, but for sure, some of you know that I'm not able to go there yet because I need permission from my parents. But then, actually, study abroad is really good for English, for sure, because English is the skill, so we need the culture, the environment itself, so that's really nice to study English or practicing your English with the native and the native environment for sure.
Cool. Yeah. So hopefully your parents will agree to your plans. We will see. But anyway, you need in the future, if you work, for example, for a company, for sure you will have contact to other countries. And then you need the language again. So it's very, very useful to practice your English. And if you have a foreigner like I am, not original from Australia or US, but from Germany, and I can speak a little bit English, then you should try to ask me, for example, some questions in English. If you want to know something from this foreigner, maybe you should try and ask me a question. What do you think? Can you do it? Do you have any questions for me? Yes, please. Oh, he is prepared.
Introduce yourself.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good night, ma'am. I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Dari Jerman Motivasi. I live in Lampung, Aceh, and now I'm sitting in Pesantren Modern High School.
Okay.
I want to ask some question or some question, but my question a little bit out of the context.
No problem.
Couple days ago, I read the newspaper page by page, and the topic is not changing. Europe fears the aggression of Russia toward Ukraine. And then I tried to find another topic that I hope will be written on Europe fears the aggression of Israel toward Palestine. But I could not find it written there. So, Mom, I want to know, because you are as an origin of Europe, what is your personal opinion about this problem? Does the Israel aggression is double standard stuff, or is it just a political stuff, as the CNN or Guardian's person? Thanks. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
First of all, be very careful with everything you read in a paper or you see on a website or you see on TV. Check it with different channels and find your own truth. The two topics you mentioned before, at the moment I can only give you a feedback to our situation in Europe between the conflict, Russia and Ukrainian war. Before I came here, I was working in Hamburg with Ukrainian refugees, students like you. They were kicked out of school and of university. Of school, for example, 2 months before the exam, because the war starts. And the families were afraid, so they took the children and they come to our country. And they learn with me German as a foreign language. And I talk to them, and the situation is really absolutely unbelievable. For us, we never thought that we will have a war in front of our doors. And I think it's very clear which side starts this war. If you have a conflict in an area, you should try to talk to each other. Maybe you can fight and you can shout whatever, but to use weapons, it's not a solution. Never ever. By the way, also not in Palestine. And maybe this is the only answer I can give you now. So check channels, different, and try to make up your own mind. In my opinion, a war is never ever necessary. And this time with the Ukrainian people, they never thought that this will happen to them. And so many people went to another country, and it's really sad. They don't have a home anymore. Nothing. Very hard. Sorry. Any more questions, maybe? If I don't understand, you must help me, yeah?
My name is Hazara Bukis. I'm a student at Al Manar boarding school. So, ma'am, as students together, that in studying English, we need many things to do, as such as memorizing vocabularies, listening, grammar, and etc.
Yeah.
So, my question is, what is the key or the most important thing to do while we study English? Thank you. That's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This is an important question, thank you for it, and I can answer it very clearly. If you are very good in writing and listening and grammar, congratulations, but it will not help you if you are going to the country, because you know you have, let us say, 10,000 words in your brain. But if you don't speak, then you are standing or sitting opposite someone from the country, and then you start talking, oh, I know the word, what was the word? You need to practice speaking. And this is the only advice I can give you. Grammar, it's helpful. To read text, it's necessary. But to remember the words, you need to practice them. Otherwise, they are maybe in your brain, but if you want to speak, they are not coming out. This is a problem for me as well. I know so many words, but sometimes what was the word? I don't remember. You need to speak. And for example, the last 15 years, I read 90% of my books are in English, so that I get used to the sentences automatically. I don't think about grammar. I read it, I read many books, I watch many films, and this helps to speak a language and to understand a language. Yeah? Some more questions from your side? No? Okay. Maybe I can ask you some questions. Um, who of you wants maybe to study in a different country later? Can you raise your hands? Who of you, especially the older ones, want to study in a different country later? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at this. The ladies, it seems they are more brave than you. Yeah. You didn't understand the question. I ask here, do you know what you want to do when you graduate from the school? Any idea what to do later? What kind of job, for example? Someone of you? What do you want to become?
To find a university in abroad.
Okay, and what do you want to become? Do you want to become a teacher or a doctor or an engineer? Do you know this? An engineer? Cool. Do you know what you want to do after graduation? No? To become a teacher? Something else? Lecturer? What else? Scientist. Good. Very good. I go to this side. I ask the boys, what do you want to become when you are finished here in school? Yeah, and then? He wants to go to the university. Okay. So you continue your education, but after this, what kind of job? Businessman. What kind of business?
Like the restaurant or the resort.
A restaurant? Okay, a restaurant in Banda Aceh.